3 years ago today, Brentilda got what is most probably the greatest Minecraft speedrun to ever be played.
Dude. What? Dude.
Not only was this the first RHC speedrun in under 10 minutes, it had beaten the previous world record by 1.5 minutes. The biggest part of this speedrun though is the amount of crazy RNG that Brentilda got all throughout the run. And because of this, it would unleash a massive set of events that will alter the history of Minecraft speedrunning forever. Such a run like this makes someone wonder, what if it simply never happened? Now, one very big part of this run is, quite frankly, the absurd amount of pausing that Brentilda did. Over 90 seconds of this run was simply paused. As a direct consequence of this, pause abuse was almost instantly banned. Now, this has already been a problem for quite a bit up until this point, but this run is realistically the reason it was banned. If this run had never happened, it would take a while longer at least for it to get banned, if so. Now, in the original timeline, Brentilda's run stood for so long that eventually people just got tired of it being at the top. Because of this, they did many things that probably wouldn't have happened if this run was never played. First of all, multi-instancing came around as a way to maybe have a little bit more chances at matching Brentilda's almost perfect run by just resetting 9 times more worlds. However, this is probably one of the most controversial decisions in all of Minecraft speedrunning history because of the fact that you basically need a NASA PC in order to run a bunch of instances. So we can probably assume that if the runners weren't in such a rush to beat this unbeatable time, then they probably wouldn't have allowed this. Now, another one of the most controversial decisions in speedrunning history happened with the unbanning of calculators in late 2021. Now, this was mainly because of the fact that there was a big gray area between using calculators and just having a really big spreadsheet. But look at this graphic. 58% to 41%. That's not a very big margin at all. And the fact is, most of these people that voted for unban were the top runners. And something that top runners always say is that they don't like calculators at all. They just voted for it to be unbanned because they felt like there was no other way to beat Brentilda's run. Now, although I feel like even if Brentilda never got that run, all of these things would have happened anyways, given some more time, I feel like they would have at least had to wait until someone got a legitimate sub 10 before they did that. This means that runners would probably have to do the axis calculation method, which is really sick because it actually gives axis calculated some time in the limelight. But this also means that all runs would basically have at least 40 seconds of time loss simply from just calculating and measuring eyes. And also, axis calculated doesn't really hit the stronghold most of the time, so that's another disadvantage it has over calculators. But anyways, I think I've yapped enough in this video already. So with all of that out of the way, I think it's time we dive into the hypotheticals and take a look at what I think would have happened if Brentilda never got that run. The date is August 4th, and the first person to break the 11-minute barrier will be none other than Piper J3 Cub. Now, I think the only reason this run was almost completely forgotten originally is because it really wasn't a sub 11 after retime. But in this hypothetical universe, pause abuse had not yet been banned. So with a 1041, Piper J3 Cub becomes the first person to ever get a sub 11 speedrun. this bring attention to a very forgotten Minecraft speedrun, but this also means that Illumina would have never gotten a world record because of the fact that, you know, his run would have never been retimed. And that's kind of somewhat a good thing considering, you know, the present day situation. Now, because Brentilda's run isn't there, the leaderboard is a lot more active. And just under a month later, on August 28th, Hofik would set his iconic 10:36 world record.
Holy fuck. What the fuck? Oh, Boże. Oh. What the fuck?
Without Brentilda's world record, this category looks a lot more different and a lot closer to how it was before Brentilda set his record, because just 2 weeks later, none other than Hirobo would set a new world record of 10:28. But by far the most iconic run, and our last run to not be sub 10, would be Molly G's iconic 10:02 former RTR world record. But in this situation, it would be the overall world record.
Oh my god! Oh my god, I'm looking at it! Oh my god! Oh my god, please, please! No, it's no sub 10! It's no sub 10! Oh my god! Yes! Yes! I did it! Oh my god!
Now, something kind of fraudulent about this run is that it was done with multi-instancing, but I feel like by this point, multi-instancing would have been like absolutely allowed because of all of the reset macros and technical innovations that were already in place. Furthermore, this run didn't even use a calculator, so like that part is basically obsolete, and runs will continue not using a calculator until I decide it's unbanned. In the summer of that year, another calculator poll is hosted, just like usual, except this time the runners vote against calculators because, well, they're in no rush to beat the world record, which means that calculators remain banned and Molly G's record remains on top. Now, there's really no telling if Cube would have gotten the same run even with Axis calculated, but for the sake of this experiment, we're just gonna assume that he wouldn't have hit the stronghold because Axis calculated is a lot less consistent than a calculator. And well, like if I had to be honest myself, none of the other runs like that were sub 10 in that moment of time would have actually like even had a chance at still being sub 10 even with Axis calculated. So this run would be the only one that would even have a chance, and we're just gonna assume that, you know, it doesn't make it just for the sake of the experiment. And on one spring day, about 4 months later, Molly G's run would get finally broken. In the end, Brentilda's run was ahead of its time by nearly a full year. But Andrew Crow showed us something special with this run. You see, you really don't need Ninja Brain Bot or Portal Room Blind to get a sub 10. Only when we strip away all our advantages of calculators or multi-instancing do we realize just how hard it is to replicate Brentilda's legendary run. But just because a run is the greatest of all time, it doesn't really mean that it's completely replicable. And with a dedicated community and enough time, just about anything could happen. Today marks the 3-year anniversary of Brentilda's 936, and this run was the reason that so many different things happened in Minecraft speedrunning. I hope that with this video, I was able to show just how much ahead of its time this run truly was. And with that being said, I would like to thank you for watching.